Hello, my name is Mike Officer. I'm an instructor at Mozingo Music in O'Fallon, and I'd like to introduce Scott Larimore, our selection for February Student of the Month. Before we get started, I want to take an opportunity to talk about two other students that I have that were equally deserving of this award. Their names are Annie Reeker and Graham Jacobson. Both of them are excellent students and have made a lot of progress on the guitar. The reason I chose Scott is that throughout his time as a student with me, he has been very dedicated to the guitar. His practice and work ethic has been excellent. He's made a lot of progress, and everything that I've told him to do, he's gone home and done it religiously, and it really shows in his playing. So out of all the students I have, he is definitely, the one for this honor. Okay, so we've been working on a song called Blackbird by the Beatles. Let's go ahead and see how it's going. Play through it for me once. Pause you right there. It's looking really nice. Now, what we've been talking about is a strategy to play the different rhythms that we find throughout the song. So, on a lot of chords, like we have at the beginning, we only have one beat per chord, just like you're playing there. But when we get up to that G, we have 4 beats. And what you did very excellent right there was had a little picking pattern that lasted that 4 beats. And what we just talked about recently that you're doing well also is applying that same concept to the chords that we have with 2 beats. Just like when you got to the E minor, to the D sharp major. So that was all excellent. So the part I want to address right now is what comes right after that, where we go for the D major to the C sharp diminished to the C major. And let's get our rhythm right there. So let's go back and start with that E minor chord. Good. So give me your 2-beat picking pattern on the E minor. Good. Same thing. D sharp major. Now what we have is only 1 beat on D major, 1 beat on C sharp diminished. So go ahead and give me 1 beat apiece on those. Good. Now when we get to the C major, we have 2 beats again. So same concept. Play that picking pattern. Yep, same thing, 2 beats on C minor. There you go, C minor. And so on and so forth. 2 beats on B minor. 2 beats on A7, which you can strum with your thumb like you were. 2 beats on D7. And 2 beats on G. Alright, let's talk about an alternate way that you can play the A7, D7, and G with the same sort of finger picking strategy that we have with the rest of them. So let's go back to your E minor shape and let's run through that whole part again. Okay, so we got 2 beats on E minor. Sorry. 2 beats on D sharp major. 1 beat on D major, 1 beat C sharp diminished, 2 beats on C major, 2 beats on C minor, 2 beats on B minor. Good. Now let's take a finger picking strategy on the A7 instead of the strum. So we have more strings involved now. So just like you did for the G up here, you can kind of do a similar thing down here. So it's going to start with our 5th string and 2nd string together, and then you can go back and forth. So 5th string, 2nd string, but then you can use your other fingers to hit 3 and 4. So you get this. Exactly. See, then we have a similar picking pattern that lasts 2 beats. So we got precisely. Now apply the same concept to the D7 chord. Only thing to remember here is our root note changes strings. So with the D7, our root note's on the 4th string, so you want to shift your hand down. Exactly. Just like that. That's exactly right. Let's go back to the A7 and put that move together. Exactly. And with your G, you can apply the same concept. So our root note now moves to the 6th string, so that's where your thumb goes. See, I can use this.
Read it on the 6th string.
Yep. And exactly. And there's a certain degree of flexibility in this. You know, you have several options that you can use for finger picking. So, you know, we don't always have to learn the song exactly like they played on the record. You can, you know, find your own picking strategy if you know, that sounds good to you. Let's take it from the beginning now. Play all the way through that part, or up to that point. Pause you right there. Remember what we talked about a moment ago, where the first time you, yep, there it is. The first time you pluck it is part of that pattern.
Do you want me to start over?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take it from the beginning. Perfect. Good. That's right. Excellent. Very nice. So now your mission this week is to take those new concepts and the picking pattern and smooth that out and get it up to speed. Nice job. All right. Another topic that we've been working on is improvising and soloing over blues. What we've been working on recently is a strategy of using both major and minor tonalities in the pentatonic scale in our solos and our improvising. So to start with, let's get warmed up and just run over the scale patterns. So show me minor pentatonic pattern 4 starting from the note A. Excellent. Now show me major pentatonic pattern 4 from the same root note. Excellent. Now we're going to stay in the same key. So show me minor pentatonic pattern 2 starting from A on the 5th string.
Minor.
That's right, minor. Excellent. Now show me major pentatonic pattern 2, same root note. All right, sounds good. Let's get a backing track set up here to jam over. All right, we're going to practice some improvising. Just jam along to a slow blues backing track in the key of A. I want you to start in minor pentatonic pattern 4. Just kind of improvise a little bit, and then I'll pause you a little bit of the way through, and we'll start talking about strategies about when and how to switch into your major tonality real quick, and then right back into minor. So let's just jam for a second. one time through our form. That was excellent. Took your time, nice and simple. That's what I like to see. All right, so now we're going to start adding the major pentatonic in the same pattern to add that little color and spice to our solo. So we have a couple of different strategies. If you're going to switch completely into the major scale, remember like we talked about last week, that you want to wait for the chord change. So let's start with that. And we're gonna in the back of our mind, we're gonna be paying attention to the form that's being played. And when we know that 4 chord's coming up, when we're gonna change to that 4 chord in the form, we're gonna switch into our major pentatonic pattern 4. Let's give it a shot. Now, since this
Stay in major.
you can stay in major for a while. Yeah, you're kind of thinking you're switching over completely. Now, since we used the chord switch as our kind of our gateway to switch tonalities, then you can do just the opposite. When you know that the chord's going to switch back to the 1 chord, you can use that opportunity to go back into your minor pattern. Just one strategy to use. Now, since this is new, don't worry about it. It might not work the first time, but I just want you to give it a try. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cue you a little bit verbally so that you know when the chord's about to change, so that you know when to get ready to switch to your major tonality. All right, here we go. Here we go. This is the 4th bar. 3, 4, and switch. Excellent. And we're going to switch back. Good. We're going to switch to the 5 chord now. There you go. Use it again. And back to the 1 chord. Go ahead and try it one more time on your own. That was great. And what I liked there was that you not only used the chord switches, but that second time through, you actually started out in your major tonality over the 1 chord, and you hung on to it really nicely and switched at some good points. That's awesome. Kind of going right down that same line, another strategy that you can use is instead of switching completely into the major tonality, you're just going to use little tiny bits of it. So you're just going to, just a little taste of the major and then right back into the minor. So let's review that a little lick that we talked about last week, where let's say you're soloing in minor, and then just for a moment you're going to switch to your pattern 4 major right there, and then right back into minor. So you see, all I'm doing is get there, I'm going to go those 4 notes of pattern 4 major, I come right back down to this note, but when I do, I'm thinking minor again. Yeah, go ahead and back down to your pointer finger, and then now you're right back into 4, or minor. Exactly. Nice. And you can kind of let yourself be your own guide, and if you want to, I like to put a little bend right there, so you can add some bends in there and stuff like that if you want. But let's give it a try. One more time through the form.
Do I gotta do it for? Or give just a little taste?
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to mostly be in minor, except every once in a while, whenever you feel like it, you're just going to throw in that little, just that little tiny bit of major, right back into minor. And again, this is a move that B.B. King uses a lot. You'll hear it a lot in his solo. All right, here we go. Switch, I'm going to throw this right at you. Switch up into minor pentatonic pattern 2 on the 5th string A, and go ahead and take one more time through the form. So remember 5th string A, there you go, and minor pattern 2. Quick, we're going to go to the 5. Think major pattern 2. Let's back that up and try that one more time. So we're going to go ahead and show me major pattern 2 from your 12th fret A.
Major?
Yep. Good. So now I'm going to cue you when we move to that 5 chord, and right when we do, I want you to slip into that major tonality.
Okay.
Let's go one more time to the form now. I'll cue you this time. And we're at the beginning. About to switch to the 4 chord, so maybe go back to minor now. Nice. Stay in minor. Here's the 5 chord. Switch back to major. And we're at the end of the form. 3, 4. Here's an ending. All right. Rockstar ending. All right, nice job, man.